Hi there, I'm Cheryl, and we're going to be making a Halloween card. Woo, spooky. Look at that owl. Is he not so cool? And then the inside is like this. So this is what we're going to need. You need some basic black cardstock, and this is 10 by 7, and it's scored and folded at 5 inches, so it makes a 5 by 7 card. You could scale it down if you like. 5.5 by 4.25 would work also. Then we have 2 pieces of Mango Melody. This is 4 by 3/4, 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. And we need 2 more pieces of the basic black cardstock, and this one is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and this one is 4 3/4. Wait, I have them. Oh, I have 2 of these. These are both 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. Piece of Whisper White. This is 4 by 5. And then we need another piece. It's about 4 by 6, or just scrap pieces you can cut these elements out from. Hold on a minute. Let me sort these out. I have another little piece. I needed another little piece of the basic black, and this is about 4 3/4 by 3 1/4. I've already cut out my shapes. So, and this pattern paper is so cool. But here's a bigger piece of this, and more of the pumpkin, and I got that at farfarhills.blogspot.com, and this is called Magic Night. So that'll make it a little easier for you to find it on there, and then it's printed out on the printer. Okay, so I use Still Night, which is supposed to be a holiday card, a Christmas card type of stamp set, but it has this cool kind of spooky looking branch and an owl, so I'm going to use those two, and I've stamped these on Whisper White with Early Espresso, Early Espresso ink. And I also cut out a little let's see, it's a 1 1/4 circle using a 1 1/4 circle punch. That's our moon. And then for my sentiments, I used from Spooky Sweets. I used the No Tricks, Just Treats, and Happy Halloween on the inside. And let's see, what else did I use here? Oh, I used my layering ovals. I used the largest oval to cut this piece from the printed out card pattern paper, and let's just cut out an oval. And then from basic black, I used the largest of these labels, and this is from Labels 4 by Spellbinders. And then we need some other inks other than Early Espresso. So I've used the Tuxedo Black, I've used Crushed Curry, I've used Mango Melody, and then I have markers here. That's for coloring in the branch and the owls. I have black, I have Soft Suede, Daffodil Delight, and Crumb Cake. So let's see, what should we start with? Oh, and I'll be using, I've got Tombow glue. I'm going to be using some sponge daubers. Oh, I cut a an oval from some thin white foam. So we used the largest one for this, so I used the next one down, and I just die cut. If you have the very thin foam, you can just die cut it. And I'll be using that to pop up this little oval here. So you know what? Let's do that first. Let's glue that on. And I'm using for this I'm going to use the designer's Dries clear glue, because this glues just about everything to everything, I think. This will even glue acetate to on your card, your paper, if you want to glue acetate, and then it dries clear, so that's nice too. So let's get that all on the back here. So that's all ready. And pop that up. Then I'm going to bring this cardstock in, and this was just a little bit off from my Mango Melody cardstock, and I could use it just like this, but of course I can never leave welling up alone. So I'm going to take my Mango Melody ink and a sponge dauber. Now I should cap my glue. Let me do that. I don't want that getting dried out. I'll take my sponge dauber, and I'm just going to add some of that Mango Melody just lightly over all the open areas. I'm not getting onto into the pumpkin faces. I think that makes them look more like they're lit up from within. But then this just blends it in with my Stampin' Up colors cardstock. And I'll do my little strip here. This will be going on the inside. Okay, so I got that all done. And then the cardstock has, when you print it out, it has a darker border, and I didn't get all four sides on that darker border, so I'm going to use my Tuxedo black and a sponge dauber, and I'm just going to ink up the edges of all, go around the edges here real fast. Okay, and the same with my little strip. Okay, so that's done. And let me take my white, well, I have the Memento black ink out. I'm going to stamp my sentiment. So I'll get my piece of Whisper White, and I have that already lined up on my block here, and I'll just stamp that. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and that's good. So that's ready to go. And let's bring these two in here. This owl. So let's color the owl first. I'm going to use some crushed curry and a sponge dauber. And I'm just going to do the owl's belly here. And I'll go into his wing also, but not on his head. On his feet is good too. And just do that, a light bit of the crushed curry on there. And then we're going to switch to markers. Now we have our little base here. So with my crumb cake all on his head, You see on his head here, it's got like little, he's got like little eyebrows. This might be a horned owl. It's got like little horns, and then the white area around his eyes, we're going to leave that white. And do we need to zoom in? I think we need to zoom in. Okay, hold on, and I'll zoom in. Okay, I think you'll be able to see better now. So, on his feathers, I'm just going to go with the crumb cake and just loop around on each of the feathers on his wings. We already have that base of the crushed curry, so we're just adding a little darker color on them. And then on the head, just anywhere, I'm going to use just little flicking motions so it keeps that feathery look just all around where his eyes are, and I'm leaving the little horns white. And just flick around there. And then there's like a little section under his neck here too, but I'm going to, underneath that, I'm going to add just a little bit of that crumb cake so it gives it kind of like a little shadow. So you see? I hope that's not all blurred out. It's kind of hard for me to see as I'm doing this. I'm going to use my black and do the centers of his eyes. And leave a little open spot in the middle there for the shine on his eyes. Okay. And then outside of that, we're going to use the Daffodil Delight and just circle around the iris of the eye. And put a little bit of that on his nose, and you might notice it's not really a Daffodil Delight color. That's because it's picking up a little bit of the brown from the early Espresso that I stamped with. And I'm also going to do his little feet, and the owl is colored in. So we're going to fussy cut that out in a little bit. And then we have their tree branch. I'm not using this whole section here, so I'm not even going to color that in. So I'm going to switch to my soft suede here, and I'm just going to go just along these branches and try and keep inside the lines, but I never seem to be able to do that. And just color that in, not completely, because we're going to come in now. So we're going to follow the lines that they gave us here, and that just gives us kind of a wood grain look on our branches. And then I'll switch to crumb cake and do the rest of that. On your markers, there's a line. It's got a little narrow line, that's a little tiny tip, and it's got the big line, and that's the big painty tip. And let me get this back up in here. Seemed to have been off screen. Like I said, it's very hard for me to tell while I'm doing this if I'm on screen or not. Especially all zoomed in. When I'm not zoomed in, I have a big area that I'm filming in, so I'm probably in screen for that. Okay, so I've filled that in. We're going to cut this piece off, and I'm going to go away now and fussy cut these two pieces and get my little scissors out and cut them, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the owl and the branch are cut out. And I also went around the edges of them with the soft suede marker so that I don't see any white showing. And I put, on the branch, I put just right here, I used some of the Stampin Dimensionals. This was from along the edge. And on this one I just put some dots back there. So those are all ready to go on the card. It is Stampin Dimensionals. And let's put the card together. Let me bring all of these papers in here. And what should we do first? Let's do the inside first. So I'm going to need a piece of the Mango Melody and the basic black. I'll use my Tombow glue for this. This gives me a couple seconds to get it all lined up. Some things I like the art glitter glue. Some things I like to use the tape runner, the snail adhesive. But when I'm lining up these mats, I like to use the Tombow the best. And then we're going to put this one, we're going to line that up. We want this side, and this side to be even. And you notice we have an empty spot down here. That's where this little strip is going to go. Which you can't see because I'm off screen. There we go. See, this little strip is going to go here. So let's put this piece down. With our sentiment. Okay, and get that lined up real nice. And we'll put the pattern paper strip on the bottom here. Just a little something to dress up the inside of the card. I want to make sure my pumpkins are the right way side up. So I'll line that up right there. And then we'll put this whole part here on the inside of the card. And we can do the outside. That's the fun part anyway. With all of our little things. Our owl and our spooky branch. And our stars. Okay. So I have that on there. I need this. I need this. Okay, so we'll start with the Mango Melody again. I'm going to put that right down on the card front. And just center that. And next comes another border of basic black. And do the same with that. Anywhere along the line here that you want to, you can always pop things up too. So you could do, have this part raised, or this little bit raised, or that little bit raised. I'm just going to have the owl and the oval that the owl is on. I'm just going to use that for my dimension on the card. And now we put the pattern paper down. We want to make sure, okay, we want to make sure that we have it opening the right way. And that our pumpkins are right side up. We don't want our pumpkins all upside down. And we'll just line that up. With our little border of basic black. And then next will come our label piece. Oops, got some of that on my fingers. And we're going to put that, we're going to line that up about a 1/4 inch in and a 1/4 inch down on the pattern paper. Okay. We have it kind of off center, and that way they get a good look at this pretty pumpkin and spider paper. And then next will come our oval, which we've put our piece of foam on. You know what, I'm going to use the Designer's Dries Clear for this. I'm switching to Designer's Dries Clear. And where did my moon go? I seem to have lost my moon. I need my moon next. Da 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 da. I don't see my moon. Well, I have a little piece of paper here, and I have the hole punch handy, or the circle punch handy. I'll just punch myself. Oh, there's my moon. There it is. So since I'm using the Dries Clear, let's put that on the moon. And we're going to put him right about here, because I know where I want everything placed already. When I was designing the card, I laid this out like this, and I put my owl there, so I knew where I wanted to put everything. But now I have the card that I've already made. I'm using as a guide, so I know where I want things on the card. Now, I'm going to peel that off, but I'm also going to put out on the tips here. There's these little dainty, fragile tips on this branch. I'm just going to put a little bit of the Dries Clear adhesive on those, because that part's not going to be popped up. And I want my branch to come right like this and come across our nice full moon. So we have our little spooky branch coming across the moon there. And now we can put the owl on. I've already peeled off the back of the sticky things on the owl. And we're going to set him right on the branch. And it looks like he's just holding on to that branch with his feet. And our card is done. Now, I just noticed there's a little bit of a difference here, huh? Look. I made my borders different sizes. Huh? How about that? Well, you can decide which you like the best. Do you like a wider border of the Mango Melody? Or do you like the narrow border of the Mango Melody? See, we have the wider one inside here. Well, that's up to you. You can decide that. And there's our Halloween card. So, I hope you've liked the video. If you have, be sure to hit the like button down below. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those down there too. If you'd like to see more of my videos, then the subscribe button would be the one to hit. And if there are any Stampin' Up! Products that you'd like to purchase, I'd be thrilled if you used me as your demonstrator. And you can do that by going either to my Facebook page or my blog. There's a little shop button there. And sometimes on the blog I put extra little things too, so you might want to check the blog out. So you all take care, stay safe, and spooky Halloween. Take care, you all.